This is Umar for BoxNation. I'm joined by Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren and future Hall of Fame promoter Eddie Hearn.
Maybe, if they'll have me.
Am I joined by the best two promoters in world boxing?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think so at the moment, yeah. Yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Have you been keeping up with Eddie Hearn's interviews on BoxNation? Do you like him on BoxNation?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing really well. Listen, we're doing really well. We've got this room booked. We're in there afterwards. We're doing really well, boy.
You're getting a bit too close.
Bedroom 709. We'll start talking.
Right, let's start off with the captains. Hamzah Sheeraz. Why'd you go with him, Frank?
Because I've got utmost faith in him. I think he represents what Queens is all about, which is development of young fighters, bringing them through and picking the right fights at the right time. And I think he's the guy for this particular moment in time.
Is that the toughest fight for Matchroom, you'd say?
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, look, they're genuinely all 50-50 fights. Like, we obviously fancy our fighters in the fights, and even if you do, I think we both acknowledge it's a 60-40 matchup or whatever. So, but Ammo has, you know, I do rate Hamzah Sheeraz. He's got a very assuring way around about him, and you know, it's a tough fight for Ammo.
Deontay Wilder as Matchroom's captain. I mean, I thought you two coming together a while back was staggering, but this is something else. Never expected that. Yeah, Deontay's going to be leading the Matchroom front. Were you confident always of making that pick as captain for Deontay?
Yeah, not really. I hadn't decided until about 24 hours before. And when you think about it, he's the most high-profile fighter on the team. He's the oldest fighter on the team. He's achieved the most in the sport. And I just wanted to give him that injection of belief, because I think sometimes you don't realise, like, the role of a promoter. Deontay Wilder has never had a promoter sort of bigging him up, you know, by his shoulder, telling the world that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you'd be surprised what that can do to the confidence of a fighter. So I think after his defeat, he felt a little bit lost and probably the phone weren't ringing. So we just wanted to stick a little bit of a rocket up him and tell him that he's a dangerous, dangerous man. You're a great heavyweight. Go out there and be great. And the captaincy was just a little bit of, you know, doubling down on that, saying, you're the man. Let's go out there and make it happen.
Risky business, though, in the heavyweight division.
Of course. And, you know, it's a risky business outside of the ring as well. And we had to pick somebody. And I think also I'm picking someone that probably can only win the fight by knockout. So I know that if we do have it off, we double down on the points, and it's 4 rather than 2.
Why does Zhang beat Wilder?
I just feel that, based upon his last performance, he didn't look at the races. But I know he's going to be dangerous because he knows himself he can't afford to lose another fight coming off of that loss against Joe Parker. So he will be at his best. But then I've got faith in Big Bang. I mean, I've seen what he can do, and we've seen what he come over and did with Joe Joyce, who at the time everybody was a bit wary about fighting, and he done it on 2 occasions. He's a very confident guy. He fancies the fight, and he really does fancy it. And I think that he has the tools to win it.
Guys, what's the procedure if there's injuries or someone's got to pull out? Are there backup options in place right now?
Yeah, we would have to find another fighter within the weight class. You know, I don't anticipate any. I mean, we've got 7 weeks to go, but it's boxing. Anything could happen. But yeah, we would have to find a replacement within the weight class.
Okay. Someone's just coming out of their hotel room.
Just made a porn film in there.
You've got time for 15 minutes, Steve. We'll back you up, brother.
What's the best thing about Eddie Hearn?
Oh, that's a bit of a question. What is the best thing about Eddie Hearn? I don't know. There's a lot of good things that I've noticed over the last few weeks or the last couple of months. He's just, you know, he's sensible. He's obviously we're sitting down. Well, look where we are, and I know it's come through His Excellency, who's basically been the catalyst for making this happen. But we are talking not just about this. We're talking about other shows, other events, other concepts, and they make a lot of sense. And it's good to, and I think it's very refreshing now that we're in this position and that we can, you know, exploit the situation to make good fights, because at the end of the day, we're in the business of doing that, developing young fighters' careers, developing fighters, put fights on, and we're doing that because there's a massive audience and the fans watch the fights and they want the best, and I know between us, we're capable of delivering what they want.
Same question to you. Best thing about Frank Warren?
Probably passion for the sport. You know, I remember a conversation we had a couple of weeks ago when we were filming the event, and I said to him, how much longer are you going to do this? And he looked at me like he was going to chin me. What do you mean? I said, well, like it's aggravation. And he went, no. He went, I love it. You know, what else am I going to do? And that just shows you, you know, he's a survivor. He's seen it all, really. And, you know, I don't underestimate the boxing knowledge as well. You know, we've both grew up really around boxing. He, you know, even before he was working in boxing, he was around boxing, and we loved the sport. So it's quite easy for us to have conversations. And I think we haven't actually experienced yet a moment where we have a fighter in the opposite corner. Because in these events we've been working together, it's either been his guys against someone else and my guys against someone else. And we've actually been on each other's team. And he's as mad as me when he's sitting front row. I mean, he's like, we're both, the blood pressure's going absolutely through the roof. And this is going to be the moment we're actually sitting next to each other, but up against each other. And we are going to be up and down, you know, non-stop in the fight. I mean, we're going to be in the ring, we're going to be in the changing room before the fight, we're going to probably go to training camps because we're desperate to win. So the passion that you're going to see on fight night, and that's what I think, you know, the synergy between us, the reason this is working is because of our love for the sport and our love for providing opportunities for our fighters. And that's one of the most rewarding things in life, is to see someone go on and achieve their dreams and set themselves up financially, you know.
What's your dad Barry said about all this?
Nothing really. He's always, honestly, he's always, like, they've got on over the years, they haven't got on over the years. He's always said to me, I like, you know, in my mum as well, I like Frank's great company, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they've been rivals. And that's really probably, it's made me the promoter that I am. Maybe the person that I am, having to go through the years. Don't forget, you know, when I started, the pressure was on. He was very good at that. You know, he'd grind you down, and it ain't for everybody. You got to really stay with it. And there were times when I thought, oh, it's just non-stop. You know, next thing, there's a letter come through, and there's an interview with you, and then I'm just like, you know, but that's the game. You got to wear down the opposition. And, you know, now I feel like personally I needed something different, because we've been doing this a long time and we still love it and enjoy it, but I've actually got a spring in my step. I really loved yesterday. You know, the reaction, the promos, the fighters, the dinner, like the feeling of actually getting in the car on the way home going, that was a great day. Whereas a lot of times in this business you go, fucking can't stand this game, does my nutting. Whereas this is just a little bit more like, you know what, this is new, this is fresh. And, you know, for our businesses, we're having a lot of success, but that translates into the fighters and the opportunities that we're presenting to them.
Lastly, why does Tyson Fury beat Anthony Joshua?
I just think he's the better fighter. That's the better all-round fighter is him. He's got a better chin. He's got a better jab. I think his power matches his power, and he's a winning fighter.
His power matches his power. Thoughts?
Disagree on all counts. It's one of the first things that we disagreed on for a while. I think AJ actually has a great jab. I'm not sure about Fury's chin now, but he has shown a good chin in the past, and certainly the ability to get up.
That's a good chin.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure it's there anymore. I mean, I didn't like the Ngannou knockdown. I think luckily for him, Usyk's not a big puncher, but we'll see. I just feel like, it's no disrespect to Fury's chin, I just feel like the way that AJ is punching right now, that actually the style suits AJ. I think he can be aggressive in the fight. We're never going to agree on this one.
Do you think he knocks Fury out?
I do. I've always thought so. But he lost his way. But right now, at this moment in time, I have no doubt that he does.
Do you want the last word?
Well,
We're going back to the old days here.
He's fighting the guy on the 18th of May that beat AJ twice, so you gauge it from that.
Frank, Warren, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for talking to BoxNation, and hopefully this fruitful relationship continues.
Well, we want it to.
Yeah.
There's really some good fights to be made, and this can get better, and bigger, and they're all going to love Wembley, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Wembley,
Huge night coming.
You're going to love that.
Big mention to George Warren, obviously, as well, who's played a big part in this.
Oh, yeah. Look, I mean, you know, I know Frank's similar age, you know, he's a bit younger than my dad, but there has to be succession.
Correct.
And, you know, I have provided that for my dad. George is providing that, and, you know, other family members in the business as well.
Way, yeah.
You know,
Francis.
but George is a very good operator, you know, and him and Frank Smith, very similar actually, you know, willing to really grind the hours out, smart minds, and then we can just maraud around chatting rubbish to everybody, and you know, while they're beavering away in the background. But two good teams working together. So far, so very good.
Thanks, guys.
George is the brains of the organisation.
Don't be too harsh on yourself, Frank.
Oh, well, what do I know? I'm an old geezer.
Thanks, guys. Roll on June 1st.